Well, hey y'all, and welcome to the Hillbilly Chicken Ranch. I'm Susan, your hostess. We're in my kitchen today because this is Soap Timber. It's hosted by Yogi Hollow Farm and Mountain Grandma. Y'all, we're going to make a soap using a soap base, a clear, transparent soap base. And it's a melt and pour type soap. And soap scraps. So I've got all these different colored scraps I'm going to put into this soap. And now it's going to be more of a pastel color, but that's okay. I want to use up the soap scraps, and this is a great way to use them up and make a pretty soap for your home. I'm also going to use a lavender scent that I picked up and some culinary lavender that I have in my pantry to kind of add some more lavender fragrance to this and a little bit of abrasion so it will work as a scrub soap as well. So let's get started. I'm going to use a very sharp knife, and this soap comes where it's already perforated so you can cut it into pieces or chunks. And so I'm going to use a very sharp knife and get this done. And I've got my water heating in a double broiler or a double pan so that I can melt it on top of my stove because I don't own a microwave, y'all. And I am old school, so I'm going to do it the old school way. Now, I have made lye soap in my past, and I can tell you when you work with lye, you've got to be extremely careful. You want to keep vinegar on hand when you're working with lye because if you splash it on you, you want to neutralize that burn very, very quickly because it will burn. But this is really just a easy soap to make and a great way to use up all your scraps. So I'm going to grab some of these and get them cut and get them into my pan. Go ahead and get those in there, get those started melting. Now I've got it on a medium-high heat because I'm boiling the water in the bottom pan. And while that is melting down, we're going to work on cutting up the scrapped pieces of soap and get them chopped up so I can put them into the mix once it starts to have a bit of a coating on the top of the soap. I don't want to melt it, but I do want to get it in there in chunks. And I don't want to miss any of this good soap. I've also got my soap mold over here. It is a fall leaf soap mold that I have. Actually, it's a cake or candy mold by Wilson. It's one of those silicone molds. I've got it on a lined cookie sheet because it will go in either the refrigerator or the freezer, depending on how long you want to wait for it to cure before you remove it from your mold. And most soaps you want to leave in your mold for at least 24 hours. So we're going to get this started. And I'm going to set my knife down so I can pull out this soap. Now these are soap scraps. And that one don't look too clean. So I'm just going to cut off that end piece. I don't know what that is. We'll save that for something else or get it cleaned up. But you just want to cut it up into small pieces. It doesn't have to be perfect. The idea is you're going to get a little bit of each color into your soap mold. There's some more white. And these soaps I don't believe had any fragrance in them. come in different shapes, different sizes, just however you want to cut them. This is a great, great way to use up all the scraps. We're waiting for the soap to finish melting, and we're going to allow it to cool for a few minutes. We're going to go ahead and prep our molds with some 70% rubbing alcohol. I probably got too much in there, but that's okay. We're going to let it dry out just a bit. That's to kind of help keep the soap from forming bubbles. And I'm going to put some of my fresh lavender into each of the molds, just a sprinkle on the bottom. Now they'll float, some of it will float into the soap. I'm also going to add some to the soap itself. I'm not sure how many I'm going to get out of this, but I'm going to go ahead and add it into my bowl of soap, and I want to show you the colors, y'all. I know it's not showing up really good on the camera, but that's the colors. And I'm going to go ahead and just throw in a couple of about a tablespoon into my soap itself, and I'm going to get that mixed in. And we are melted, and we want a little bit of a film on the top, so I'm going to go ahead and turn my burner off and let that cool for just a moment, because we don't want to melt the soap that we're putting in here. Let me get this mixed just a little bit. And if I feel like I need more, I can add more of the lavender to this. And I'm going to go ahead and put some of this into each one of my molds. And whatever soap I have left over, I'll mold up into another mold. And my scraps, I can keep these for another day. If I don't use them all today, they're already cut. Okay, I'm pretty satisfied with that. We're going to go ahead and we're going to mix in some of this lavender. Now this is for soap making. I'm just going to go ahead and just, not even going to measure it, I'm just going to put in a few drops. That's probably about a half a teaspoon or a little bit more. Mix that in really well. And pour. Get some of that fell on the outside into the molds. And I'm going to tap it. Put that spoon down. That's to kind of help get rid of the bubbles, and then I'm going to spray the top. And this will go into my refrigerator, and let me pull out another mold. All right, y'all, here are the soaps up close. A little disappointed that the leaf pattern didn't turn out as well, but that's okay. These are for home anyway. And there's the one I made out of the measuring cup and all of my mistakes and beautiful soaps here. Look at the colors. Just beautiful. And these are the ones with just the lavender in them. I love it. Look at the colors in that. So I think it was a soaping success. This was made with a measuring cup. I lined the measuring cup with a little plastic wrap because I didn't have enough molds. I'm not real thrilled about the scent. It's supposed to be lavender, but it doesn't smell. It smells more like a candy than a lavender. I'm also not excited about the way the tops of the leaves turned out with the actual lavender in it. I'll probably leave that out next time. But the soap itself is just absolutely gorgeous. Can y'all see all those colors in there? Just absolutely gorgeous. Next time I will probably add all of those little soap pieces and the lavender into the melted soap, then pour it instead of doing it the way I did it. But that's okay. You live and you learn. Now I've done this procedure before, but I've never added the lavender to it. This one turned out really pretty as well. All the pieces are not totally in there, so I had a few mistakes. That's all right. This one is just beautiful. It turned out really nice, except for the top of the leaf. I was really not pleased with that leaf. That's okay. Now the mold I used is a little heart-shaped mold. Y'all can see some of the soap stuck to the mold. Silicone mold again. A lot of times Dollar Tree will have these. And I got some beautiful little guest soaps out of this that I can put out in my guest bathroom. And then I did some with just the lavender in it, and I can gift these. They're just beautiful. Except for the scent. I can't get over the scent. So I got quite a few soaps out of that. I think it was a 2-pound pack of the soap base. Let me double check that. Yeah, it's a 2-pound pack. So I got quite a few soaps out of that. It's worth it to me to have some homemade soaps on hand. Use up that scrap soap that's laying around. You don't know what to do with it. Another use you can do with scrap soaps is you can use it, if you're a seamstress, you can use it to mark your fabrics because it washes out really easy. Thank you for watching, friends. This is Soap Timber, hosted by Yogi Hollow Farm and Mountain Grandma. It will continue on until the end of November. Y'all get involved. Make your soap. The soaps look better after I trim them.